What's up, everybody? Unrested here, very early in the morning as I begin my early work day on Fridays. Thought I'd hit you up with a video that is a part 2 to one of my most popular videos called 3 Things I Don't Understand About Japan. And it's 3 things that even after living here for a long time, I don't understand. My first one did quite well, so I thought I'd jump into another one. And not saying these are bad things or wrong things, I'm just saying that they are different. And I know that my own country has some odd things too that I don't understand, like you can buy a gun and alcohol in the same state, or something crazy like that. So no offense to the country while doing this, only positive vibes, but just kind of things that we can kind of laugh at together. Alright, number 1, arm covers on old ladies. You'll see covers like this. You see on my arm right there, like that? Covers like that. Now I wear them because I've got tattoos and I've got to cover them up pretty much all over Japan. Tattoos don't go over well here. So old ladies wear them to block out the sun. Now I see younger women wearing them too, and I guess I can kind of understand keeping your skin kind of serene and smooth and wrinkle free. But when you're like 70 to 90 and you're still wearing those, why? Why? Okay? And it doesn't stop just there. It's not just those arm covers. It's giant visors that, I mean, they have the girth of a land mover. They've got such a big scoop on the front of the visor. They look like a Darth Vader helmet as they ride a bike sometimes. On top of that, they usually carry an umbrella on top of it. So you've got the armbands, or I should say the arm covers. You've got the giant Darth Vader helm, and you've got an umbrella to keep out the sun. Now you're probably saying, now Scott, okay, maybe at that point in their life, 70 to 90 years old, they're not trying to stop the wrinkles and the tanning anymore because, you know, let's be honest, they already looking like bacon, but they're trying to stop sun cancer, skin cancer, and keep out that sun, keep that skin from getting skin cancer. Well, my, I guess, retort to you is there's tons of old men in Japan who do not wear any of that stuff, and they seem to be doing okay. There isn't like a higher rate of skin cancer in old men in Japan, so there goes that theory right there. Moving on to our next one would be city records kept in books. City records still kept in books. Now, some are entered into computer, but quite a few city records, for example, your gaijin card information used to be kept in that. It is now done at immigration where they keep it in computers. But there's other aspects of your ward information, your city ward information, that get scribbled down into a book that you then sign by using a Hanko stamp, which I'll get into later. So there's been a problem before where in a country prone to tsunamis and earthquakes, those books get destroyed because you can't back up paper unless you copy it to other paper, I guess. You know, if you back up something on a hard drive and put it into a cloud drive or on a server, no matter how many of those computers you destroy, it'll be somewhere. Whereas a book, you destroy one book and it's done. And that's happened many times before. They record a lot of stuff for an entire town into a city ward book that's handwritten down, and then along comes a tsunami, along comes an earthquake, along comes a fire, and bye-bye books. That's the end of everybody's records. And you know, there's this saying in Japan, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I can see this with some things, like for example, there's never been central heater air here, and a lot of people say, well, you know, our space heaters and space coolers are enough. If it's not broken, why fix it? But sometimes I feel like in Japan, it's like, if it is broken, don't fix it. Next up, and finally on the list, is stamps for signing stuff. Now these stamps are beautiful. I really do like my Hanko stamp, and if you don't know what one of those is, a Hanko stamp is pretty much your name on a stamp, your kanji, whatever katakana for me, since my name is a foreign name, you have used to put together your name with different kanji you use for your surname. There's family Hanko stamps, and these are used for very important documents, for example, loans, mortgages, birth certificates, all different types of stuff. And signing some of those documents I just talked about at ward offices. They ask you to bring your stamp. And even banknotes and getting your bank account and opening a bank account. But there's a problem there, and that's the fact that you can easily replicate a stamp. All you need is a mold. You take a mold to somebody's house, you press the stamp into it, you can now recreate that stamp quite equally Whereas if you have a signature, no one can really copy another person's signature. There's, you know, handwriting experts that can always tell signatures apart, or even thumbprints. If you use somebody's thumbprint, I guess unless you're like an exact match DNA twin or something, I've heard that there's been situations where that's matched, but I mean, come on, how often is that happening? And I will say, at some banks, when you sign up, they do actually make you put down a thumbprint, because I think they do come to the conclusion that, hey, this hanko could be copied. But signatures, not very common in Japan, signing for stuff. You sign for some mail, but you hanko stamp for quite a bit of stuff. And you can easily replicate a hanko, and a hanko validates a lot of important documents, like bank statements, like opening a bank account, like getting large amounts of money out of a bank account, insurance, loans, mortgages, tons of stuff. And it always kind of befuddles me. I'm always like, oh, is that okay? Like, I'm just making something that anybody could recreate at any time, especially if you have like really common kanji. I guess for me, no one's really going to go around trying to copy the name Scott, because they take one look and they're like, yeah, you don't look like a Scott, and not quite sure why you're using katakana for your name. Anyway, guys, those are just 3 quick things I do not understand. If you have any comments as to why these still go on in Japan, or your own theory on why they still go on, please list them in the comments below. I'm unrested with the questions you requested. This is JFAQ, Japan's Frequently Asked Questions. Have a good one.